Hello, this next video tutorial will work through exercise 2-4 from your textbook. I'm going to start a new drawing and we'll do the ACAD ISO, which is the metric standard template. The ACAD is feet and inches, which is English. So we'll do the ISO because 2-4 appears to be all in millimeters. And the first thing I'm going to do is check my units. So if I just type in units and hit enter, you'll get a prompt that shows the default units for this ACAD ISO template, and we'll make sure they're set up for millimeters. So it's set to millimeters, decimal, decimal degrees. That all looks good. So just check that. That way you know you're drawing in the correct units. Now I'm going to turn off my snap and off my grid, and I'd like you to do the same thing and get in the habit of drawing purely freehand. So I'm going to hit L enter for a line command. Actually, better yet, let's start with a rectangle command. If you hit REC for rectangle and hit enter, on my prompt it says specify first corner point. So I'm going to pick somewhere in space and just kind of drag down to the right here. And it says other corner point. Well, I don't know that other corner point, but down below here I have an option for dimensions, and if I hit the down arrow, that'll appear in my dynamic input as well. So I'm going to go to dimensions, and it says specify length for rectangle. Length, I believe, is to the right, so our overall length is 160. Enter. And then it says specify width. Overall height is 90. Enter. And then it says specify other corner point, so we can flop it around that origin point that we started with. It doesn't matter, so just click. So now we have a rectangle that is exactly 90 by 160, which is what we were after. Now we have to draw some line work on the inside that appears to be inset by 10 millimeters, and the quickest way to get that is the offset command. You start typing O for offset and hit enter. It says specify distance. I'm going to specify 10 millimeters. Hit the enter key and it says select object offset. Pick that line. Now if I go out, it offsets to the exterior. If I go in, it goes to the interior. I want to go in, so I just click. And then it still wants to repeat, so I'll just hit the escape key to finish that command. So now I have basically the outline of what I need to complete this drawing. Now the rest of these little teeth, if you will, appear to be 20 millimeters. Yeah, they're all exactly 20 millimeters. So a couple ways we could go about this. I think the easiest would be to offset again. O enter 20. And offset that in 20 now. And now it's just a simple matter of connecting the dots, if you will. So I'm going to do L enter for a line. And I have my O snap turned on. That's the F3 key, so that allows this grip point to appear. If you're not seeing grip points, you can right click down here on the snap and grid and go to snap settings, and there's an option for object snap, and you can pre-select what it will snap to. So these are my defaults, which you see checked that I prefer to have, and then hit OK. So I'm going to draw that line from that corner point until it's perpendicular. Okay. And I can complete the line. Now the other way to do that is I could draw from here, and see right now I'm kind of freehand. Well, if I hit F8, the line's going to go straight up. Now if I just type in the distance while it's live and I'm dragging upward, and that distance is 20, enter, it will draw a line that distance. So real quick, easy way to do that. And now we can use the offset again to get the rest of the teeth. O enter, it remembers my last value is 20, so hit enter again, and then I can offset each of these over by clicking on the line and then off to the right one at a time. Hit escape to finish that. Now anytime we have a symmetrical shape, it's easier to do this one time as opposed to multiple times and then just mirror it. So I'm going to use next the trim command, TR, enter, and I could pick two fencing lines, enter, and then the line I want to trim away between them, but the easier way is to hit TR, enter, enter, and now any line that I click on that has fencing lines, I can easily left click to trim away. So I can, look at my base drawing compared to what I'm drawing and quickly trim away all that extra line work and then hit enter or escape when you're done. And then erase what was left with the E command. Let me do that again. It was E, enter, select objects, click on them, and then hit the enter key to remove them. And I apologize if I'm going too fast here. You can always replay this video. Now I'm going to mirror that line work to the other side. So MI for mirror, enter, select objects. And if I click and drag this blue area, anything that's completely in that dragged area will get highlighted and I can mirror. I'm going to escape out of that. Now if I do this again and I drag from right to left, anything that I even intersect gets highlighted. Very handy. You'll learn the difference here. There's times when you need to do both. Well, I don't want all of that mirrored. I just want this upper portion. So I'm going to drag right to left just to get those lines. Enter. Specify first point of mirror line. So I'm going to pick there. Now if your ortho is off, you'll kind of have this going on. Hit the F8 key to lock it in, and then click to finish it. Erase source objects, no. So I could either hit enter or I could click on that no. And there we have it. Last thing is to trim out these last pieces. You know how to do that. TR, enter, enter, select object to trim. Well, I want to trim that, and that, and that, and escape to finish. So lastly, kind of zoom out, take a peek at your object, do a double check, make sure you didn't make any silly mistakes, and I believe we are accurate and done, and there's no other requirements of you, although it's a good idea to get in the habit of using paper space. So maybe we'll go to the layout tab and we'll leave it preset to this 8.5 by 11. But if we double click to activate the viewport, we can zoom out, maybe play around with some scale. If we pick down here, we could do 1:1 scale, that's life size. Kind of put it in the middle of the viewport, double click, and if you want to lock it in, click on the viewport, and then at the bottom here you can click on a padlock to lock it, or you can right click on the viewport and go to locked. And that way, if you accidentally are in here and you zoom around, it won't change your scale. So probably better to do it that way. Put it in paper space, and then you can save this by going to the A, save as, and this time just call it EX. I'm sorry, I've lost my screen here. Just call it EX2-4. Save it to your folder on your hard drive, and that is how you complete exercise 2-4. Thanks for your time.